Hello everyone. Peanut Butter Elijah here. Okay, I just want to go over a quick summary of the moon phases and their meaning, actual meaning um for each one that's willing to listen. Okay, so May the 4th, we've had a new moon. Okay, let me tell you a little something about the new moon. The new moon is really a holy time in the Bible. The new moon is a time where you're spiritually forgiven for the wrong that you've said, or even done, you know, um, Lord willing, you know. So we've been a new moon for 8 days now. So for the past 8 days, I wish that none of you have been using cuss words or getting out of line or anything like that, because we're actually going through a phase with the Wendigo and the Hindigo and the Indigos. I'll get into details about that. Okay, so on Mother's Day, which is May the 12th, we have the waxing moon. Okay, so this waxing moon is really a good moon. It's a good time. And so with that, it's called the Hindigo. Is a spirit that never comes to an end, only new beginnings. Self lives in self, not outside of self. So this waxing moon is when your inner being is being, lifted of negative energy, and it's like you're storing up positive energy for yourself. And so this is the locking in. The waxing moon is the locking in of the positive energy that started, with the new moon. Okay, so we're going to go from the new moon and the waxing moon to the full moon. Okay, the full moon is basically a connection that happens with the spiritual realm and the earthly realm all at once. Usually, it's possible for you to see into the spiritual realm at 11:55 to 11:59. It's like that's usually the time where everyone could see into the spiritual realm. But the thing about the full moon is you would actually have to stay up late the night before in order to tap in to that new moon. I'm sorry, to that full moon. So, okay, so the 18th is the full moon. So on the 17th, if you go to bed like 11, all you would have to do is like an extra hour, maybe sitting in a chair and, just an extra hour before you go to bed. Okay, so let's get down here to the waning moon. The waning moon is like the capsuling of the negative energy. So from the 4th all the way to the 12th, you've been having the gathering of taking a negative energy and bringing it to positive energy. Okay. Then you, like I said, you have the full moon, which allow you to see into the physical realm and the spiritual realm, beginning at 11:55 to 11:59 p.m. That's around lunchtime. But in order to tap into that, you would have to stay up on the 17th a little longer than what you're used to going to bed. Now you could be on the couch. You don't necessarily have to stay up. This is so dangerous for you to have that kind of job where you just need to get your rest. But I'm just telling you on how to tap in to be able to see into the spiritual realm the next day around lunchtime, which is 11:55 to 11:59. Okay. Now we're going to go back here to the waning moon. Okay. Now the waning moon is when the negative energy, that's the last chance the negative energy has to enter into your body. Okay, my bedtime is 11 o'clock. I don't go to bed till 11 o'clock. But the on the waning moon, I like to stay up a little an hour later. So I'll go and I'll sit on my couch, and the time I'm supposed to be in bed, I just wait a few minutes, around 11 o'clock, 11:15, 11:30, I go and I look at my bed area and I can see a negative energy lifting up to the ceiling. It's because this negative energy, it wants to get inside you, and it will go to the place where you keep your positive energy, which is your bed. So if you wait an hour later than what your usual bedtime is, that negative energy cannot find you. But it's going to go where you make your positive energy, which is your bed. You go, you relax, you recharge. It's going to go to the place where you recharge. So usually I like to go and sit on the couch where it cannot find me. And believe you me, it don't know how to walk to you or get you this negative energy. I didn't know what was happening to me. I just know that there have been times in my life where I've been hit with negative energy so bad. And I know it happens during these different moon phases. So I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And so the 26th is a time for you to play music, things like that. And the 26th is like the Star of David. The waning moon is like the Star of David. It's the time where you want to bring in as much positive energy to your being as you can. And again, if you go to bed at 10, try to stay up until 11, and around about 10:30, just go and stand from a distance and look at your bed, and you'll see a negative energy lift up to the ceiling. It's because the negative energy, this is the last chance for it to survive, which is the waning moon. That's the last chance for that energy to find a new home, to rest, and to be in. And so just don't go to your normal. Now, be inside the home. Now, I'm not telling you go run the streets. No, that will make it worse. You might come home with many, many negative energies and spread them all around. But on this day, it's the time where you can actually see the negative energy being lifted, So let me go over a little my notes. I started this book. It's called Uncovered Gothics, and I started it when I quit smoking cigarettes in 2002. And I just God, he was able to open up my eyes to different things that really was able to free me from these negative energies. So the difference between Indigo and Wendigo. Wendigo is a spirit that comes to an end of itself. So the Wendigo spirit coming to an end started May the 4th, which was a new moon, and the waxing moon is like that reward of your good essence that live forever. So the waxing moon, that's considered to go hand in hand with the Indigo. It's a spirit that never comes to an end, to a dead end. Only new beginnings of self, lives in self, not outside of self. So it's like this is the moon phase. The waxing moon is when you trap all that good energy inside your body and your spirit. But if you're participating in the moon phases, you ought to know that the new moon is a time for you to stop cussing if you're cussing, stop using negative energy, and by the time you get to the waxing moon, it's like you're just like a masterpiece. You've bottled good energy, and so the good energy is locked in on a waxing moon, and the bad energy is locked out on the waning moon. So the waning moon is the last chance for that energy to find a place to live. Okay. So again, the full moon is a time where you can actually see into the spiritual realm, but I was telling you that you would actually have to stay up um, to at least 1 o'clock, but if you want to like doze off on the couch, just don't go to bed, you know, wait an hour before you go to bed, but I'm just telling you how I was able to tap into the spiritual realm. I would use the full moon, or even you can even use it on the full moon, because if you stay up on the full moon to like 1 o'clock, then on the 19th you will have direct access visually for the spiritual realm and the physical realm. And also I have something else written on how naturally each and every day you can tap into the spiritual realm, actually see into the spiritual realm certain hours today based upon the day and the time you were born. But I would have to go through my notes to find it. But for now, just concentrate like what I'm telling you. The new moon is used for vanquishing bad spirits, like if you're a cusser, stuff like that. It's a time to say, okay, I'm changing my life. Let me refrain from cussing, or let me refrain for any bad toxins that are in my system that I need to get rid of. That's what the new moon is for. And then the waxing moon is just that part where it's locking in the good. And all this time from the waxing moon, this negative energy wants to get back in, you know. So the only way for you to lock this negative energy out is to play music, read your Bible, and just be in a good mood to where the energy cannot attack you, which is the waning moon. The waning moon, that's where the negative energy needs a home. And if it don't get one, then it fades away. So again, it happened to me where I said I'm gonna stay up a little later because it had attacked me earlier that day, and I already knew that if I want to tap into the spiritual realm, that I would have to stay up an hour or two normally than what I would go to bed, because I am so strict when it comes to my bedtime, So I stayed up a little a hour later, and I stood, and I stood way back and looked through the hallway into my bedroom, and that was when I could see this negative energy shadow lifting up off my bed. See, because it's going to go where you make the positive energy. That's where it's going to try to get you, because you go to sleep, you go to bed at night. That's where you regenerate your positive energy. So it's going to know where to go, where to find you. It knows where to find you. So I'll use this day to stay prayed up, on the waning moon, which is another way of just saying the Star of David, and you can stay away from negative energy altogether on this day, because it's so dangerous, dangerous. You don't want to be like, oh my God, how did I get here? Or anything like that. So be very careful. Well, I'm gonna go, but when I'm gonna have to go through my notes, and all of my notes are not something that I'm just made up at the top of my head. Some of my notes, most of my notes come from the Bible. They begin with the Bible, and it's like I've lived through them. But I want to teach you, if you go to Twitter and look up Little Mo, Lilmoe, and go through my logs, you will find how you can be able to tap into seeing in the spiritual realm every day if you want to, based upon the time and day that you were born. Some people were born like is and odd numbers, so that's when you go into like military time. And I got it all written down. It's not memorized, but this is real. This is not a game. This is real. These energies are real. People are ending up in jail, regretting bad things that they've done. This is real. These moon phases are nothing. They're nothing to play with. Matter of fact, if you know if it's full moon that day, or a waxing moon, or quarter moon, or new moon, or half moon, whatever moon, have sense enough to be inside, not outside running the streets. I know it's maybe a, full moon, maybe it's your birthday, yeah, but if you decide to go out, make sure you're safe. You're with somebody that's going to keep you safe too. Okay, just don't go roaming on these moon phases wild and nilly all by yourself. Have backup, somebody to be there with you. And another thing, all this stuff going on, in the clubs and stuff. If you see something that's going on in the club that's negative, right away, even if you just stepped into the club, if you see something negative right away and you done paid your money, just leave. Just leave, get out. Get out, as quick as you can, especially when you're dealing with these moon phases. I don't club, but I'm going to tell you, my mother, she raised up us in church, and she was like, well, Liza, Christian women just don't do things like that. Because I had been invited by friends that I went to school with, and birthday parties, and even teacher parties and all that. And my mother, she spoke to me, just some things that Christian women do not do, Besides, I'm too old for all that mess anyway, But if you're going to go wild willy-nilly, make sure you have some kind of, somebody that will protect you. Just don't be by yourself on these days, especially the waning moon. Okay, so did I finish reading this to you? Okay, the indigos, someone's spirit that hovers over another. Okay, so the indigo is really say like the action of the indigo and the wendigo. Okay, so the indigo is that part that it needs a new home. That negative energy needs a new home, or else it would disappear and it won't be able to get to you. So I hope you enjoyed my moon phases, repetitions, and again, they come from the Bible, and I've lived them myself. And Lord willing, I'll put another video out upon how you're able to see into the spiritual realm using the day you were born, the date and stuff. Well, have a great one. Bye-bye.